Previously, in the anime, Yogiri and Tomochika got tangled up in a competition to find the new Sword Saint. A Sword Saint was like an entity that maintains the barrier to keep the Dark Lord sealed, but just as Yogiri arrived near the Tower of Trials, he accidentally killed the Dark Lord as he sensed his mana, so the years-long problem was solved, but Yogiri didn't know if he messed up the trials or not, so he kept quiet about it and went along with others for the trial, but his instant death ability was sensed by the creator of the tower, so he also tried to kill Yogiri. And the creator himself died, so all in all, the Dark Lord died, the creator died, and Yogiri and Tomochika were planning to get out of this tower because there is no threat left, but on their way, a girl asked them for help in finding her sister. And away from their sage Shaun has asked one of her friends, Aoi, to look for Yogiri. She has the ability to weaken her opponent by looking into their destiny, and she also copies the skills of her opponents, almost like a cheat skill, and that way she kills her prey. So now her next target was Yogiri, but their Damien begged Aoi to take him under her wing. He was roaming around in the forest when Ryuto saved him, and now that she killed him, he wants to serve Aoi, so they were traveling throughout the forest when Daimon learns that Aoi is finding Yogiri, and in the meantime, the creator of the tower is dead, and as a result, one of the pawns of Dark Lord destroy the tower, which will release the barrier holding Dark Lord in a few minutes. So to prevent that, Sword Master was ready for the fight, but Yogiri, Tomochika, and Theodisha slips out of there, while Rick and Line were still staying behind to stop the resurrection of Dark Lord. And Line remembered he could use his lucky crystal to summon something random for his use, but when Frederica used her spell, that Black Wing just dispelled the magic with his bare hands, and from his behind, Lute came out and made Frederica's hand into a candy as she tried to attack again, so Line used all of his random summoning stones to get something useful, but the goddess came out of it, who actually granted him all that stones, so Linnell thought that Goddess Van Hotto would surely protect them from Dark Lord, but seeing her, Orgaon took a knee and Lute hugged her from happiness. Line was the unluckiest person when he met Van Hotto, because she is on the Dark Lord side, to be precise, she is on Dark Lord's side to wipe out humanity, and aside from that, Theodisha, Tomochika, and Yogiri were going down further into the basement of the tower to find Theodisha's missing sister, but when they saw the barrels holding peoples, Theodisha got upset and Yogiri asked Tomochika to stay behind. He enters the room and realized the Sword Master and the Creator used all this person for the barrier, but thankfully no one among them was Theodisha's sister. But the sight was still awful and she puts all of them to rest, anyways. As for the goddess who used Line, she was waiting for the barrier to come down and Swordmaster gave his title to Rick to die in a bloody battle, so, Line got desperate knowing that he will be the cause for the human extension, so he asked the goddess, why is she on the Dark Lord's side, so she reveals that Dark Lord is her boyfriend. Once upon a time in the past, he went out and he never came back home. So she sent messenger and got the news that Dark Lord got sealed by humans. She tried many times to unseal him but Swordmaster always killed her minions, so she planned to use the most unlucky guy, Line, to bring back her boyfriend, and she got even more lucky because the creator of the tower just died, so now no one could fix the barrier, and the goddess killer is also dead, so there is no way for humanity to survive. All of these people died by Yogiri's hand. And Line thought it all happened because of his unluck. Then, the goddess took out the core of the barrier and crushed it to free her boyfriend, but that boyfriend of hers also died by Yogiri's hand. The guy he just killed accidentally was the Dark Lord. But their Theodisha killed the Swordmaster while he was distracted, and from the Dark Lord's death, Goddess was also shocked that something tried to kill her from behind, but she healed herself and went crazy seeing that her lovely darling died. His minions also went crazy and wanted to wipe out everything, but Yogiri killed the whole demon army in a shot, and as for the crazy bitch who just lost her mind, she kept shooting aimlessly and their Aoi came in to meet Yogiri. She analyzed that Rick had the holy sword in his hand that he didn't know about, so he kills the goddess and stopped her madness, but their Aoi tried to analyze Yogiri to find his weakness, but her system crashed and she saw that Yogiri is the end itself, sort of like the final destination. She freaked out and made up that she came here to deliver Daimon to them and pulls back to save herself, but after that, the situation was resolved, and Rick had become the swordmaster now. So he wanted to put Theodisha to a trial, but Yogiri steps up to protect her and the first divine king tells Rick to pull back because Yogiri was the one who killed all the demons and the Dark Lord. She expressed her gratitude, and seeing her, Rick left the matter. As for Theodisha, she still wants to find her sister named Euphemia, so she goes on her own way, and the divine king and Rick goes to the capital. As for Shaun, she was thinking of a way to deal with Yogiri and thought of summoning someone who knows Yogiri. She thought of blackmailing, but the scientists she summoned got shocked to see that Yogiri was in this world. But something called the first gate of Alpha Omega was opened, in other words Yogiri, and seeing that, the scientists died. Now Shaun realized how messed up situation she has gotten herself into. Which takes up back in time when Asaka was taking care of Yogiri as a caretaker. She took the job unknowingly, but she got used to it in some time. Her job was to educate Yogiri so that he won't go around killing people, but she hated being locked away into an underground base for too long. So Yukio gave her the salary and told Asaka that he forgot to inform her that she could take a momentary leave to go back to enjoy, and in the meantime the robot would look after Yogiri, so she enjoyed her time with a whole lot of money. But while she was in a hotel, something happened that she can't remember and ended up in a cell in a mysterious place. That place was owned by an organization that were after Yogiri, and Asaka never made it back to Yogiri, so he got worried and asked the observers to let him go. Yogiri wanted to see Asaka, and anyone who tried to stop him died, and Yogiri came out of his confinement. So Yukio informed Yogiri that Asaka was kidnapped by an organization that operated on a global level, so they can't do anything. There Yogiri asked him to let him go, and Yogiri destroyed the whole place down, and saved Asaka on his own. With that, they came back to the facility safely, and Asaka told Yogiri to play for bit, but as she talks with Yukio about this, he tells Asaka that the kid has taken a liking to her so she shouldn't quit, and seeing that innocent smile, Asaka felt she should continue to be with him. After that, flashback ends and Yogiri and Tomochika arrived at the capital, so Yogiri showed a pendant and all the guards took a knee. It was given to him by Rick that had some meaning because it was engraved with the mark of the royal family. But there David tries to make that pendant invalid as the youngest prince. He challenges them for a fight to test them if they were really knight whom Rick gave those pendants, and Tomochika handled him on her own. Then, it was now time to meet the classmates who abandoned them when they arrived in this world, so Yogiri asked Tomochika if she's willing to forgive them. They went to the meeting place where all their classmates were gathered, and there the king welcomed them all. They were sage candidates, and the king was supposed to guide them to their next trial. But one of the idiots got overly confident and tried to rip supplies from the king, so the king slashed his fingers as a warning to him and the others, to stay within limits because they first need to obtain achievements to become great sages. But sadly, right there the video ends, but subscribe to the channel to get the most recent updates of our channel. Until then, take care.